A very good morning, students. Welcome back to online session on Programming for Problem Solving course. In our previous session, we started the second unit, and in that we started the concept of operators. Okay, we defined the operator, we defined the operand, and we also defined the expression. So, uh, in the discussion of operators, we got the operator categories. We said like there are 7 different categories of operators we have. Okay, the categorization we have done in 2 different ways. One is based on the number of operators, the operands the operator is using, like unary, binary, and ternary. If the operator is using only one operand, we call it as unary operator, and if the operator is using 2 operands, we call them as uh, binary operators, and if the operator is using 3 operands, then we are calling them as ternary operators. Okay, so this categorization is based on the number of operands the operator is using, and there is another categorization based on the behavior of the operator, and in that we have seven different types. We started with arithmetic, then we said relational, we have logical, and after that we have bitwise. Then there is another one like increment, decrement, conditional, and we have other operators. So these 7 categories of operators we have. In that I will go to that slide so that you will this categorization based on the behavior. So we said arithmetic that we discussed. Uh, then we have relational. This also we discussed. Then we have logical. We discussed this one as well. Then in today's class, hopefully we'll be covering this bitwise as well as this assignment. Okay, these 2 operators we discuss in today's session, and hopefully in one more session I'll be covering the complete operators concept. So we still need to discuss increment and decrement, conditional, and other operators. Okay, so these 3 we need to discuss. This we do in our next class, and in today's class we'll be discussing the bitwise operators as well as the assignment operators. So these operators, it is an LAQ, long answer question, and it is an important question from your second unit. Okay, there is a possibility that they ask this question, definitely. Okay, so you have to be good in this question along with the programs whatever we are discussing. So already for arithmetic operators I gave you the program, related program for that arithmetic operators. Then relational operators also we discussed, I have given the program. Logical operators I have given the program. Then as I said, in today's session we'll be discussing bitwise, and in one more session bitwise and assignment, and in one more session we'll wind up this operators concept with the discussion of increment and decrement operators, conditional operator, and other operators. Okay, so quickly go and start the bitwise operators concept. So before the discussion, because these bitwise operators they operate at a bit level of the operand. So all bitwise operators, I mean not all, like we have bitwise operators both binary as well as unary. Okay, we have binary bitwise operators as well as unary bitwise operators. So before the discussion we need to know how the integer values or how the decimal values can be converted into binary values. It is an important discussion, and maybe a few of you already know how to do this one, and the vice versa also we have to discuss. Yani how we can convert the binary value into decimal, that also we have to discuss. So in order to explain that one, I'm opening my whiteboard. So here basically what we are discussing in today's session, as I said, so we need to know how we can convert the decimal number to binary number. Okay, and we also need to discuss how we can do the vice versa, and how we can convert the binary number into decimal number. First we see the conversion from decimal number to binary number, decimal number to binary number, that we see. And After that, I will explain how we can convert a binary number into a decimal number. Very simple procedure. Already we know the LCM method, isn't it? LCM, how we can take the LCM of different number. The same the same procedure we follow over here in order to convert the decimal number into binary number. Because as you know, your computer will store all the numbers in binary format only. It will not store the numbers as we give it to, okay, as we give it. So like whatever number system we follow, the regular number system like 1 to 10, we call that number system as decimal number system, where we have like 10 digits including 0. We have 10 digits, and in order to frame the 11th digit, what we have to do, we have to use 1 followed by 0. Likewise we are doing, isn't it? Likewise we are doing when we are running out of our digits to represent the count. So the immediate count we are representing with a 1 0. See, in order to represent 0 count, no numbers or no entities, how we can represent? Simply we put 0. Okay, let me just take the marker. So no digits or no count, how we are representing? Simply we are keeping a 0. We are keeping a 0. 0 indicates no numbers, no count, no elements, like that, isn't it? No count, no element is represented by 0. So to indicate 1 as count, 1 as number, what we do? We write 1. This digit we use 1. To represent 2, 2 count, we are using 2, like this. To represent 3, 3. Okay, likewise 4. Then we have 5. Single digits we have. Then we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Up to 9 we have. Up to 9 single digits we have. Do we have a single digit for 10? No, we don't. So what we do? We make use of this 1 followed by 0. We make use of this 1 followed by 0 to indicate the 11th digit. That is 11th number. Yani to represent 10 count, 10 entity count, we use 1 followed by 0, like this. These are this particular thing will indicate 10 entities, 10 number, likewise. So to represent 11, we use 1 1 1 2, and so on we go, and so on we go. After 1 9, this will indicate 19 as count. Okay, 19 entities in count. Then do we have any anything to represent 20 as a single digit? No, we don't. And we ran out of 1 followed by 1 to 9, isn't it? 1 followed by 1 to 0 to 9. We ran out of all these things, isn't it? We ran out of all the combinations like this: 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 3, likewise 1 9. All those combinations we ran out of. So what we do next? So in our previous case, to represent 10 to 19, we used 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 3, likewise. So when we ran out of this thing, we have started our count with 2 0. So this will indicate 20 as count: 2 0 2 1 2 2, and so on, likewise up to 2 9. Then we have 3 0, likewise we are doing. So in binary number system also, because in decimal number system, how many digits we have? In decimal we are having 10 digits. What are those 10 digits? 0 to 9. 0 to 9. So whenever we are running out of the digits in our sequence, number sequence, count sequence, simply we are using the combinations, isn't it? We are using the combinations. So 0 to 9 we represented with the help of a single digit. 0 to 9 count we represented with the help of a single count. But to represent 10, we don't have any single digit. We don't have any single digit in our digit set. So what we have done, we took the combination, like we took 1 0, likewise. So when you started representing like this, at 1 9, again we ran out of combination. We ran out of what we call digits. Okay, we can't frame any more count with the help of using 1, by simply using 1 followed by the digit. So what we did, we started 2 0. So likewise, when you are continuing after 9 9, again after 9 9, we ran out of digits. We don't have any combinations. So what we are doing, simply we are increasing the position. So whenever we are running out of digits, we are increasing the position. So we increase one more position and we start doing 100. Likewise, to represent 100, what we are doing? 100. Likewise, we have started 101, 102, and so on, like that we are going. So again, when we run out of the digits, digit combinations, again at 999 will be short of digits. So what we do? 1000. Likewise, simply we are increasing the positions. Number of places we are increasing. Number of places to frame the digits, to frame the numbers, we are increasing. So likewise, this is about the decimal system. This is how we follow in our regular day-to-day calculations. This is decimal. So on the other hand, how the computer will do the numbers, that is binary. How the computer will do numbers, that is binary. So in binary, to represent the digits, what we said, how many digits we have in binary. So binary numbers, we need to use either 1, either 0 or 1, either 0 or 1. There is no other combination, either 0 or 1. We can't use any other digit, sorry, either 0 or 1 we have to use in order to represent the digits. So in order to represent the numbers, either 0 or 1 digits we have to use in order to represent the numbers. So using 2 digits, how many numbers we can represent? So start with the 0 count. 0, to represent 0 count, we use 0. In binary also we use 0, and in decimal also we use 0. So this is your binary and this is your decimal. I'm writing like this. So in binary also we represent 0, and in decimal also we represent 0. Then to represent 1 as count, 1 count, we use like this: 1. In binary also 1, and in decimal also 1. In binary also 1, and in decimal also 1. Then what we have to represent 2, decimal 2, how we can do? Do we have any digit? No. Here also, after representing 9, when we ran out of the digits, what we did? We started with 10, isn't it? We started with 10. The same thing you do. Here, when we ran out of the digits, what we have to do? Start with 10. That is nothing but increase the place. Increase the place in your system. Simply increase the place in your system. So here I ran out of the digits. So what I am doing? I am increasing the place. So how to start when you are increasing the place? You have to frame 10, isn't it? 10 you have to write. So here also I am doing 10. So this 10 will represent 2 in decimal number system. To represent 2 in binary, we have to write 10. So 10 will represent 2. So then see, all these things, whatever I have done over here, you better write down. You better write down. Okay. So after this, yeah, when you increased the combination, you have the flexibility. So 10, then what we have? Another thing what we can represent? 1, 1, isn't it? 1, 1 also we can represent. So this thing is 3. 1, 1 is 3. So again, 0, 1 we used. Again we ran out. So what we do? Again, increase one more. Increase one more place. So by increasing one more place, 1, 0, 0 we have to put. So this is 4. 100 is 4. So after 100, what we get? 101, like this. So this is your 5. Then 110. This is your 6. Okay. So then 111. This is your 7. Again we ran out of the combinations. So here 0, 1, to represent only 0, 1 we can use, because we have only 2 digits, so we can represent only 2 counts. So to represent 2 as count in binary, we don't have any digit, single digit. So what we did? We increased the place and we used the number combination, digit combination. So we got 10 for 2 and 11 for 3. So then again, after representing 11 as 3, 3 as 11, we ran out of the digit. So what we did? We increased the place. So increasing the place, again we got 100 for 4, 101 for 5, 110 for 6, and 111 for 7. So after doing like this, again we ran out of the digits. So what we do? So in the same way how we are doing in decimal, whenever we are running out of the digits, simply we are increasing the position, place in our system, and we are starting with zeros once again. So again I will increase the place and I will start with zeros. Okay, start with zeros. So like this is your 8. So again 1001, So this is your 9. Okay. Then 1 0 1 0. Okay. This is your 10. Okay. 1 0 1 1. This is your 11. Then 1 0, sorry, 1 1 0 0. This is your 12. Then 1 1 0 1. This is your 13. Then 1 1 1 0. This is your 14. Then 1 1 1 1. This is your 15. So likewise, any numbers you can represent in binary. Simply, whenever you are running out of the digits, what you have to do, increase the place and start with 0. See here, 0 1. After representing 0 1, I ran out of the digits, so I increased the place and started with 0 again. So 1 0 1 1. Again I ran out of the digits, so I increased the place and I started with zeros. Then 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Again ran out of the digits, so 1 triple 0. 0 0 0 1, sorry, 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1. After representing this, again I run out of the digits. So to represent 16, what I have to do? Again 1 followed by 4 zeros I have to use. 1 followed by 4 zeros, that will represent your 16. So like this, this is your binary system and this is your decimal system. So this system we humans will follow. We humans will understand and we humans will follow this system. But this system, your computer will follow. Your computer will follow and your computer will convert all our decimal numbers into binary before storing it into memory. Before storing it into memory, all our decimal numbers will be converted to binary number. Okay, so that's the reason why there is a need to understand how we can convert this decimal numbers into binary and binary numbers into decimal. This by implication we have to understand. I mean, conversion of decimal to binary and binary to decimal, it is very important concept. It is very simple. Okay, it is very simple. Already you know the complete computation in your mathematics. Just I will make you aware of how we do. So the LCM same we do here, but with a reminder approach. Every time we have to take off the reminder and we have to put. So let us suppose, so I gave you this, the complete binary to binary number system over here. The decimal we already know, so that is the reason why I'm removing this one. So I have given all the numbers in binary up to 15. So, and I will show you how we can convert the decimal numbers into binary so that you can remember and you can follow that procedure. Okay, so let us say, so there may be many shortcut methods, but this is the approach that I will follow, and I want you also to remember this same approach and follow this approach. Okay, so if you know anything better than this, you can follow that one also, no issues. Okay, so let us just understand. So 0 is 0, 1 is 1, that we know. How we can convert this 2 into binary 1 0? How this 2 represent binary 1 0, that we have to understand. So simply take the LCM 2, and that LCM we have to take with 2 only. That LCM we have to take with 2 only. Okay, so 2, and every time you have to write the reminder what you are getting. Whenever you are doing the division, every time you have to write the reminder what you are getting. Okay, so 2 once 2, isn't it? 2 once 2. Then what will be the reminder? 2 once 2 you are saying, and the reminder is 0, isn't it? So when you divide 2 with 2, 2 once 2, and reminder you are getting as 0, isn't it? So that is the reason why I kept reminder like this, 1 hyphen 0, like this you put. Hopefully you understood. So 2, take the LCM of 2 with 2. So 2 once 2, and write the reminder as 0. So this 2, it is in decimal format, and how we can convert this 2 into this 2 in decimal. And generally the number system, when we are doing the problems in multiple number systems, we have to indicate the base value. So for decimal numbers, what is the base value? How many digits we have over there, that will become the base value. So how many digits we have in decimal number systems? We have 10. So the base value of decimal number system is 10. Same thing, binary number system. What is the base value? How many digits we have in binary? Only 2, 0 and 1. So the base value for binary number system is 2. So the 2 in decimal, what will be in binary. Like this they will give. The question mark they will put over here. 2 in decimal, what will be in binary? Okay, what will be in binary? So by seeing this 2, you can understand they are asking us to convert this decimal 2 into binary. So after doing like this, after doing the calculation like this, 2 ones 2 we said and 0 we got, what we have to do, we have to go in this direction. We have to go from bottom to up and we have to write all the numbers. We have to write all the zeros and ones. So here I got 1 0, isn't it? As you can see, 1 0. So 2 in decimal is equivalent to 1 0 in binary. 1 0 in binary. Here also you can check. 2 in decimal equivalent to 1 0 in binary. Same thing if we go with 3 in decimal, what it will be in binary. So how we can convert? Simply put 3 and take the LCM with 2. 2 once 2 and what will be the remainder? Remainder will be 1. See here. 3, I'm taking the reminder, taking the dividing with 2. 2 once 2 I'm saying, and what you will get? 1 as remainder you will get. So here like this I wrote the remainder. So follow in this direction. Go in this direction and write the digits. So what I got? 1 1. So that 1 1 you write here. So 3 in decimal, 1 1 in binary. So 1 1 in binary. Same thing for 4 we will check. I will rub this one. I hope you understood this 2 in decimal and 1 0 in binary. So we should not say 10 11 over here. We have to say 1 0. 1 0 in binary and 1 1 in binary. So like that you remember. So the next number will convert, that is 4, and I will show you how it is equivalent to 1000 in binary. 1000. This is only the conversion from decimal to binary we are doing. Again, vice versa we have to discuss. That is binary to decimal we have to discuss. So the next number, which is 4, that is 4 in decimal, what will be in binary? Let us just take some more space. What will be in binary? So how we can do? Take 4 and start taking the LCM. Start taking the LCM. Take 4 and start taking the LCM. 2 2's 4, isn't it? 2 2's 4. What is the remainder? 0 we are getting, isn't it? 2 2's 4, 0 we are getting, and one more 2. 2 here we have. So again, this 2 also you have to take the LCM. Then 2 1's 2, and again you are getting the 0 because 2 1's 2. 2 2's 4, remainder 0. 2 1's 2, remainder 0. Like this you are getting. Go in this direction. Go in this direction. So 1 0 0 you are getting. 1 0 0 in binary. 4 in decimal, 1 0 0 in binary. Take another number and do the same thing. That is take 5. And after 5 we'll stop and we'll go to higher numbers. Okay. So because almost it is done. So the next thing is 5 with decimal. What will be in binary? 5 in decimal, what will be in binary? So what we have to do, again, take 5 and start doing LCM with 2. 2 2's 4. 2 2's 4. So what is the remainder? Remainder is 1. 2 2's 4 plus 1, 5. Likewise. Then 2 1's 2. And what will be the remainder? 0. 2 1's 2 plus 0, 2 only. So likewise. So 1, go in this direction. So you got 1 0 1. So 1 0 1. As I said over here, 5 in decimal, 1 0 1 in binary. So here I wrote the same thing and we got the same thing, 1 0 1 in binary. Now let's do with 8. Let's do with 8. So I will do with 8. So take 8 and try to convert it into binary. 8 in decimal, what will be it? Binary. What will be in binary? So how? Take the LCM. See, do this practice, I'm telling you. 8, take the LCM with 2. 2 4's, isn't it? 2 4's, remainder will be 0. Then 2 2's, remainder will be 0. 2 1's, remainder will be 0. So you have to do the same process, LCM again and again, unless you get 1 over here, 1 over here. Okay. So now what will be the number? 1 000. The number will be 1 000. 1 000 to the base 2. So here you can see. 1,000 to the base 2 for 8. Okay, for 8, 1,000 is the binary, 8 is our decimal. So now we do for 13. Let us assume for 13 we are doing. Okay, for 13 we do. So take that number 13 in decimal, what will be in binary? What will be in binary? So take 13 and start taking the LCM. 2 6 12, remainder 1. 2 3s 6, remainder 0, remainder 0, and 2 1s 2, remainder 1. Go in this direction. 1 1 0 1, 1 1 0 1. Hope I wrote the same thing here. Yes, 1 1 0 1 for 13. Here you can see 1 1 0 1 for 13. So the last digits, that is 15, we do now. 15 in decimal, what will be in binary? 15 in decimal, what will be in binary? So 15 to the base 10, 15 to the base 10, what will be in binary? What will be in binary? So how we can take 15 and start taking the LCM with 2. 2 7s 14, remainder 1. 2 3s 6, remainder 1. 2 1s, remainder 1. So 15 in decimal can be represented with 4 ones. Can be represented with 4 ones in binary. So in this way you can convert. Take some random number. Take some random number and try to convert. Some big number and try to convert. Like I'm taking 121. Okay, 121 in decimal. What will be in binary? What will be in binary? So take 121 and start taking the LCM with 2. Okay, 2. So how it will be? 260s, isn't it? 260s 120. 260s 120. So the remainder will be 1. Then 230s. 230s 60 only you will get, and the remainder will be 0. Okay. Then 215s. 215s 30, remainder will be 0. Okay, go on. Then 2 7s 14, remainder will be 1. Then 2 3s 6, remainder will be 1. And 2 1s 2 1s 2, remainder will be 1. Go in this direction. 1 1 1 1. 4 ones 2 zeros 1. 4 ones 2 zeros 1. 4 ones 1 1 1 1, 2 zeros 0 0, followed by 1. So this is the binary representation of 1 to 1. Okay, binary representation of 1 to 1. So 1 to 121 in decimal, it will be 1 1 1 1, 4 ones 2 zeros 1. Like this you can represent the decimal 121 into binary. Hopefully you understood now how you can, now you will be in a position to whatever number I give, simply how you know how to convert that number into binary, isn't it? You know how to convert that number into binary. See, there are more complex stuffs associated with this, how to represent a negative number, how to represent a decimal number. Decimal means precision, number with precision, a real number. How to represent a real number in binary. All those things are there. Those are not of our concern. Okay. At this stage, those are not of our concern. Slowly we'll proceed, and slowly we'll learn how we can represent the negative numbers and how we can represent the decimal, precision numbers, real numbers in binary form. That also we will see. So for today's class, conversion of decimal numbers to binary, only whole numbers we have seen. Only whole numbers we have seen. Negative numbers we have not seen. In whole numbers also, only positive numbers we have seen. Negative numbers we have not seen, as well as the real numbers we have not seen. There is a way to represent real numbers in binary, and there is also a way to represent negative numbers in binary. That we will see. Anyhow, if you belongs to ECE, electronics department, you will do a more research on these type of number systems. But as of now, being a computer science student, or if you belongs to CSE or IT, we don't need these things in detail. Okay, you are having like subjects like BE, basic electronics, digital electronics in your 2-1. They will elaborate these things. Okay, will elaborate these things. Over there you will get the clarity of these number systems and the importance of these number systems. So for now, you simply remember, we can understand only decimal numbers and computer can understand only binary numbers. That is the reason why there is a need to convert the decimal numbers into binary and binary numbers into decimal. So now first thing is over, that is conversion of decimal numbers to binary, that is over, and hope you understood this thing. So the next thing what we have to do, we need to understand how we can do the conversion of binary numbers into decimal numbers. Binary numbers into decimal numbers, that we have to understand. So 0 and 1, no problem, because in both the things 0 will be 0 and 1 will be 1. So from this 2 onwards, we'll see up to whatever, unless you get the understanding. So the next concept I said, we are doing for sorry, yeah, now we are doing, yeah, we discussed decimal to binary, and now we are doing binary to decimal. So how we can convert a binary number to decimal number? This thing we have to understand. Decimal number, this thing we have to understand now. So quickly, what I will do, I will take this 2. Okay, 2 in binary, how it is? 2 in binary, 1 0 to the base 2, and I want this in decimal. Decimal means 10. They will give like this. 2 in binary, they want in decimal. So what you have to do, simply write whatever digits we have over here, separate it. Okay, give some space in between the digits and write separated. So like this, 1 you write here and 0 you write here. Then you multiply with 2. Okay, multiply with 2. Here also multiply with 2 and put plus in between. Put plus in between. So just follow the steps whatever I have done. Multiply with 2 and put plus in between. And for this 2, here also we have 2, here also we have 2 now. So put the powers, like start with 0 and go on like this, 0 1 2 like this. So we up to 2 only we have. So 2 digits only we, 2 positions only we have. So we are getting 2 power 0 and 2 power 1. If you have 3 positions, like 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, like that you will get 6 positions, then 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, like that you have to. So first what we did, simply we wrote that numbers 1 and 0 with some space in between, with some gap in between, like separated numbers we wrote, and then we multiplied those numbers with 2 and we added plus in between. The same procedure you have to follow, plus in between, then 2 to the power 0 and 2 to the power, powers we added like 0 and 1. So now evaluate this thing. Now evaluate this thing, and finally what you will get, that you see. So here 2 power 1 is 2 only. Okay, 2 power 1 is 2 only, and multiplied with 1 is 2 only. Isn't it? 2 only. Plus 2 power 0 is what? 2 power 0 is 1. Isn't it? 2 power 0 is 1. Multiplied with 0 is 0. 2 power 0 is 1. Multiplied with 0 is 0. So we got 2. We got 2. So this is the simple procedure to convert the binary number into decimal. Binary number into decimal. Okay, so maybe you know this procedure. Many of you maybe know this procedure prior to our discussion. If it is known to you, I am very happy. And this discussion is for only those who don't know. Okay, so here you put 2. That's it. 1 0 in binary, it will be 2 in decimal. Take another number, like I'm taking 1 0 0. Okay, 1 0 0, and we see how it is 4 in decimal. How it is 4 in decimal, that we see. Okay, so simply I have to delete this. Okay, so what we said, 1 0 0 in binary, 1 0 0 in binary, and I want the decimal equivalent. Decimal equivalent. So what I have to do, write these 3 numbers like separated, 1 0, sorry, 1 0 0. Then what you have to do, multiply with 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2. Then what we have to, plus symbol, put the plus symbol in between, plus plus, add the powers, 0 1 2, that's it, 0 1 2. Now evaluate. So this is 2 power 2 means 4, 4 multiplied with 1, 4, plus 2 power 1 means 2, isn't it? 2 power 1 means 2, multiplied with 0 you will get 0, plus 2 power 0 means 1, 2 power 0 means 1, multiplied with 0, 0. So the value will be 4. The value will be 4 we got, and that same value we'll put here. So 100 in binary is equivalent to 4 in decimal. Okay, hope you understood. So now we take some other number like 7 we take this time. So 7, we said binary equivalent is what? Triple 1, isn't it? Triple 1 is the binary equivalent for 7. So this is your binary. This is your binary. Take this one. Okay, so binary decimal. Okay, so now, yeah, we said we will do this thing for 7. So that is triple 1. Triple 1 in binary, what will be in decimal? What will be in decimal? Same thing, right? Separated, 1 1 1, multiply with 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2. Okay, then add plus sign in between, plus sign in between, add the powers, 0 1 2, likewise. So 2 power 2, 4, 4 multiplied with 1, 4, plus 2 power 1, 2, multiplied with 1, 2, plus 2 power 0, 1, multiplied with 1, 1. So what is the value? 7 we got. 7 we got. That's 7 you put here. That's 7 you put here. So like this. Okay. Next, take some bigger number, like again we do it for 13. We do it for 13. See, many times why I'm explaining means you need to understand this thing thoroughly. Okay. So we are doing it for 13 now. So what is the binary equivalent for 13? 1101. 1101 to the base 2. What will be in decimal? That is to the base 10. Okay. So this thing, right, separated 1101. Okay, then multiply with 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2. Okay, add plus sign in between, plus sign in between, plus sign in between. Add the powers, 0 1 2 3. 2 power 3 means 8. 8 multiplied with 1, 8, plus 2 power 2 means 4, multiplied with 1, 4, plus 2 power 1 means 2, multiplied with 0, 0, plus 2 power 0 means 1, multiplied with 1, 1. Okay, so 8 4 12 plus 1 13. We got 13. So like this, 13 is the decimal equivalent for 1101 in binary form. Binary. Okay, binary 1101 will be 13 in decimal. Okay, so next we take some random number and random binary number, and we see what will be the equivalent. Okay, so I'm taking like 11011101. Okay, this is in binary, and I want the decimal equivalent. I want the decimal equivalent. So this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 2 power 7 it is going, right? It is a huge value. So yeah, we'll do no issues. So 2 equals to in decimal. What will be in decimal? So write these numbers separated. 1, yeah, shall we rub this, because already we did now. Yeah, this thing already over, so I'm removing this thing. One, 1 0 1 1 1 0, then 1. Okay, 1 1 0 11101. This is our number. So simply multiply with 2, multiply with 2. Here also multiply with 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2. Likewise, you write for all numbers, all digits multiplied with 2. So now add plus, 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 plus. Yeah, one more. Okay, then add the powers. Here 0, here 1, here 2, here 3, here you get 4, here 5, here 6, here 7. So what is 2 power 7? 2 multiplied, is it? Yeah, 2 multiplied, 2. Okay, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Okay, so 128 plus 2 power 6, 2 power, yeah, 128 multiplied with 1, 128 only. Then 2 power 6 multiplied with 1, 2 power 6 is 64, 64 multiplied with 1, 64 only. Plus 2 power 5, 2 power 5 is 32, 32 multiplied with 0, it will be 0. Plus 2 power 4 is 16, 2 power 4 is 16 multiplied with 1, that is 16. Okay, plus 2 power 3, 2 power 3 is 8 multiplied with 1, that is 8 only. Plus 2 power 2 is 4 multiplied with 1, 4 only. Plus 2 power 1 is 2 multiplied with 0, 0 only. Plus 2 power 0 is 1 multiplied with 1, you will get 1. Okay, now add these things. 128 plus 64, okay, plus 16, 8, 8, 4, 12 plus 1, 13, like, isn't it? So last 3 I am adding here itself. See, 8 plus 4, how much? 12. 12 plus 1, 13. So that 13 I am writing here. After 16 I am writing 13. So 6, 4, 10 plus 8, 18, 3, 21. Then 8, 10, 12. 2, 221. This number, this entire number is 221. So 221 in decimal we are representing in binary like this. 221 in decimal we are representing in binary like this. You can take any random number examples and you can practice this thing. How you are converting into decimal and how you are converting into binary. Okay. First you take any random number. Let us say I am giving example over here, some 521. Okay, take this number 521 into decimal. This is in decimal. Convert into binary and convert it back to decimal. Convert it back to decimal. Check whether you are getting the same number or not. If you are getting any mistake, that means you have done the procedure wrongly. Again, you have to verify the video and you have to do. Okay, so this type of things you have to do. So yeah, the discussion of conversion of a given number into binary is over, and now we can go and we see how this simple logic can be applied in our bitwise operators. So bitwise operators, they are also binary operators, and we have unary bitwise operators also. When it comes, we will discuss. So bitwise operators work at bit level of the given operand. At bit level of the given operand. So first, whatever binary, whatever decimal number we are giving, that decimal number it will convert it to binary. It will convert it to binary, and at the bit level it will operate. At the bit level it will operate. There are 6 different types of what we call bitwise operators. Okay, 6 different types of bitwise operators. The first one is bitwise AND. Bitwise AND we have, AND operator we have. Okay. So how this AND operator will work means the operator takes 2 numbers as operands and does the AND on every bit of 2 numbers. Okay. So here it will take 2 operands and it will do the AND operation on every bit of 2 numbers. It will operate at the bit level. The result of AND is 1 only if both are 1s. So like, to understand this one, okay, we'll take the simple example. So let us say bitwise AND, what symbol we are using? See this AND symbol we are using. and symbol we are using to represent the bitwise AND operator. So how it will operate means, so let us say if I am taking a value as, sorry, it's my mistake. Okay, a value as 2 and b value as 3. I'm taking a value as 2 and b value as 3. So we will see it, this actually this operation is applicable for 32 bits, because your integer, when you are storing this value in an integer variable, we said integer variable will take how many bytes? 4 bytes of memory it will take. If it is a 16-bit compiler, it will, if it is a 32-bit compiler, it will take 4 bytes, and if it is a 16-bit compiler, it will take only 2 bytes. It will take only 2 bytes, but we do the operation up to 8 bits. Okay, that is only 1 byte operations we do. Only 1 byte operations we do, because writing that 16 bits on the board, it is not possible, and it will become very clumsy. Okay, so we do up to 1 byte, but for your integer it will take 4 bytes in 32-bit compiler, it will take 2 bytes in 16-bit compiler. Okay, but we do the operations at bit level operations, we do only for 1 byte, you remember. So a as 2, how it will be stored? A as 2 in, I mean, if you perform like C is equals to A and B, like this, bitwise AND you are performing here. Bitwise AND you are performing. So what will be the result that is stored inside C? Okay, what will be the result that is stored inside C means, first it will convert this bitwise operator, it will convert A value into binary, B value into binary, and it will do the bit level operation, and the result whatever you are getting, that binary result it will store in decimal only, because this int C also we are declaring like an integer, int C only we are declaring. So first we'll see A, how it will be converted. A we said 2, right? 2, what is the binary equivalent for 2? We said 1 0. Okay, and we said up to 8 bits we are performing. So this is only 2 bits. So how many bits I have to add here? 6 more. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So at 8 bits. Okay, this is 2. 2 in 8 bits. Okay, 2 in 8 bits. Then we also have 3. What is the binary equivalent for 3? 1 1. So how we can store in 8 bits? At 6 zeros. Okay, at 6 zeros, before that 1 1. Okay, this is the binary equivalent. 3 binary equivalent, 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 1. So now perform the AND operation. Perform the AND operation on this. Perform the AND operation on this. Yeah, here we wrote one statement. Okay, we wrote the result of AND is 1 only if both bits are 1. The result of AND is 1 only if both bits are 1. So here, okay, our both bits, they are not ones. Here we have 1 and here we have 0. So what I will get? 0 only I will get. We said the result will be 1 if both bits are 1. Okay, 0 we will get. So then 1 1 we have, 1 1. If both are 1s, we'll get the result as 1. Then all are zeros. Here no one concept. So all we will get like zeros only. All will get like zeros only. So what is this? 6 zeros followed by 1 0. What is this? This is 2 only. This is 2 only. So whatever operation you are performing here, 2 and percent 3, you will get 2 only. So here A and percent B we performed. A is holding 2, B is holding 3, and the result you will get 2. That 2 only in here you will get. So if you printf, if you print the value of that C, printf percentile D C, what you will get here? You will get 2 only. So quickly we go and we see that on our compiler working. So what operation I am performing here? Bitwise AND operation I am performing. Bitwise AND operation I am performing, which will operate at the bit level. So I am going to the compiler and we see whether whatever we discussed that is correct or wrong. So source file I am taking and I have started writing my program. So here what we are doing, basically I will write the comment on top here. Basically what we are doing here, we are demonstrating. Okay, demonstrating. This program is written by, this program is written by, write the name. Okay, then to demonstrate the bitwise operators to demonstrate the bitwise operators. So now you write the program hash include stdio dot h. Okay, then int main of void, int main of void, then yeah, declare those int a as what we took the value, a as 2, int a as 2, then int b what we took the value, b as 3 we took, b equals to 3. Okay, then yes, perform that. Int c you take, then c is equals to a and percent b bitwise, and we are performing. So what we are expecting c value as printf. Okay, I'm writing c value. Okay, c value what we are expecting, percentile d here, that will you will get. Okay, the result is in c, so that c you print. Okay, save this program. So sorry, control z, save this program, control s. Okay, so here you write the program name. So we are performing all bitwise, right? So bitwise, bitwise dot c, hit enter. Okay, program got saved. Now you go to execute, compile, compilation, it is hopefully successful. Now run. See, 2 we got, isn't it? Whatever we discussed, we should get the c value as 2, like that we discussed, isn't it? Like that we discussed, and we are getting the same. So how we are getting the 2 means, yeah, here I wrote, you see, this is your c value. Okay, this is, you are performing the AND in between a and b. This is your a, this is your b, and in between a and b you performed, and we got c. See, only when there is a 1 in both the case, both a and b, only if there is a 1 in both a and b, you will get 1 when you are performing the AND operation. When you are performing the AND operation. Hopefully you understood. So when you performed a with 2, b with 3, and you performed the AND operation in between, you got c value as 2. The same thing when we printed, we got on the output screen. We got on the output screen. So let's go to the slide and see what other operator we have here. So the next operator we have OR operator, bitwise OR. So this is also takes two operands, integer if you supply, it will convert those two operands into bits, binary values, and operates on bits, and it will return 1 if there is at least one bit. If any of the two bits is 1, not, it is not mandatory that both the bits should be 1. If any of the bit is 1 means it will return 1 only. If both the bits are 0, it will return 0. So that logic you apply here. So what we said, the same thing we are taking, same thing we are taking. Sorry, it is not going as I'm expecting. So here you remove this one. Okay, so a value same thing we have supplied, b value same thing we have supplied, like 3, and the operator operation, yeah, here this you see, yeah, OR operator, this is what we call like this 2 dash, like this we are using like this. Okay, so this is bitwise OR. So that bitwise OR we are using here. Like for logical, simply 2 ORs we have to use. Okay, so that same operator I'm applying here, OR operator. So here, yeah, this thing you remove, and yeah, do the apply the logic as per that last instruction, this instruction. The result of OR is 1 if any of the two bits is 1. If any of the two bits is 1. Here, yeah, any of the two bits, 0, 1, this 1 I have, so I will get the result as 1. Yeah, 2 ones means 1. Any of the two bits, 1. Yeah, the condition is any of the two bits must be 1. So here both the bits 1 I have, so the result will be 1 only. So for all others, I will get zeros only. So 0, 0, 0. There is no ones. So 0, 0, 0. So what is this? This is 3. Binary. This is binary 3. So in decimal 3. So C value 3 you have to get. So here, what you have to get C as C, you have to get 3. So when you are printing printf percentile d, when you are saying, and C on output screen, you have to get 3. On output screen, what you have to get? You have to get 3. So quickly I will go to the compiler and I will do the corrections accordingly. So simply what correction I have to do? Instead of and here I have to put or. Sorry, this R. That's it. Instead of and, I have to put R. So A value is same, B value is same, C value I'm performing by performing the bitwise R I'm getting. So C value I have to get 3. So save the program and compile. Now execute. You see 3 we got. 3 we got. Hopefully you understood. 3 we got. Okay. So this is the logic behind bitwise operators. Okay. There is another one. Yeah, we'll go and we'll see. Quickly we'll see. Yeah, this one. So after bitwise and bitwise OR, we have bitwise XOR. So the bitwise XOR, it is also a binary operator. It will also take two operands. It will also take two operands, and the result of XOR is 1 if both the bits are different. If both the bits are different. Different means either 1 0 0 1 we need to have. Okay, this operator is used to check whether the given number is even or odd. Okay, if both the if both the bits are different, if two bits are different, we'll get 1. If two bits are same, we'll get 0. We'll get 0. The result of XOR is 1 if both the bits are different. Okay, so here in our case, so remove this, and XOR, what symbol we are using? Cap. Okay, we call it as cap. Okay, so the same I'm applying. Take this. I'm applying here. So now see, C equals to A cap B. Okay, like this. See this. This operator we set. Bitwise XOR operator. This operator we set. Okay, this operator we set. So to understand this operator, what we have to do? Yeah. Yeah, the logic behind that operator is, if both are same, if both bits are same, it will return what? If both bits are same, it will return 0. If both bits are different, it will return 1. It will return 1. So here these two bits are same, so it will return 0. Here same, 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 same. Up to 6 it is same. Then 7th we have 1 1. So this is 1 1 means same bits, so 0 only. Okay, then 1 0 we have, so this is 1. So this entire thing, what it is? This entire thing, it is 1 only. It is 1 only. This entire thing, 7 zeros followed by 1, this is 1 only. Even if you convert it into binary decimal, you will get that only. So simply start converting. So 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, 7 zeros we have, then 1 we have, multiplied with 2. So like this we do, right? Multiplied with 2. And all these things, even if you put 2 multiplication, all will become zeros only. So I'm not keeping that one. So this is 2 power 0. So 2 power 0 means 1. 1 multiplied with 1, 1 only. Like this you will get decimal value 1. Okay. So yeah, quickly we apply and we see whether we get the same result or not in our compiler. So what symbol you have to change? Here instead of bitwise OR, you have to put bitwise XOR. Bitwise XOR. Okay. So simply save this and compile this. Okay. Then execute. See here, 1 we got. As we expected, 1 we got. Okay. So in this way you can analyze the functionalities of all bitwise operators. See these two operators, bitwise left shift and bitwise right shift, they are somewhat complex, so we'll see in our next class these two. Okay, these two we'll see in our next class. So quickly we go to the next thing, and bitwise NOT. NOT means it is simply complement. It will invert in place of, and it is a unary operator. It will take only one operand. It will take only one operand. It will, what it will do? It will simply complement. In place of 1, it will put 0, and in place of 0, it will put 1. Okay, it will put 1. So here will take only A, will not take B. Okay, will take only 1. Okay, one operator, one operand, that is A we are taking. A value we set 2. Okay, and C is not what symbol? Negation symbol, as you can see here. Negation symbol we are using, the symbol. OR operator, bitwise OR operator, what symbol we are using? The negation symbol. Bitwise, all these symbols are there on your keyboard. Bitwise not. Bitwise not means this symbol, negation symbol. Okay. So how to do this bitwise not? It is somewhat complicated. You just try to analyze. Two, how we can put six zeros followed by 10. 10. This I am doing, as I said, this I am doing only for 8 bits. But your integer it will take 32 bits. 32 bits means last two bits we know 10, and remaining 30 bits all will be zeros only in our consideration. All will be zeros like this. Up to how many? Up to 30 zeros. 30 zeros you will have here. So if you invert this a value, so if you put the negation a, this is your a, isn't it? This is your a. To get the negation a, what we have to do? All bits we have to negate. So what will happen? All bits like this: 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, up to 30 ones we will get. How many ones we will get? 30 ones we will get, like this: 1, 1, 1, 1. All zeros will be inverted to ones, and it will go some very huge value, and sometimes you may get negative because the first bit in your number, it will be a sign bit, and if you invert that sign bit to 1, it will become a negative number. So here 30 zeros means we will get 30 ones now. 30 ones. Okay, each and every one you have to multiply it with 2 power, isn't it? 2 power. Here we'll start with 0. So we have to start with 2 power 31 multiplied with 1 plus 2 power 30 multiplied with 1 plus, and so on up to this. Okay, up to this. This is what? 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 plus 2 power 2 multiplied with 1 plus 2 power 1 multiplied with 0 plus 2 power 0 multiplied with 1. This entire thing you have to calculate. So to get the value 2 power 32, it is very huge value. Simply we see whether it is in the range of integer or not, because there is a particular specific range for integer we have, isn't it? Whether it will be in the range of integer or it is exceeding the range of integer, simply you will get some very huge value. So that we will see. So going here and applying negation, I will remove all these things. I will remove all these things, and I will apply the negation on bitwise not on a. Okay, a not I am storing, bitwise not, and I am storing the result into C. I am printing that result. Save this program and compile. Yeah, it is successfully compiled, and go and check. See, -3 you are getting. Why it is happening like this means, minus negative value why you are getting means, yeah, see, it is, we need to calculate the complement, 2's complement, 1's complement, like that we have to do. And it is, as I said, it is somewhat advanced concept that when it comes in our discussion we will see. Okay, basically as your sign bit will go to 1, because your sign bit is becoming 1, in order to get the actual value, what we have to do, again we have to complement, we have to get the complement, 1's complement and 2's complement of that number, and finally whatever value we are getting, and we have to put the negative sign to that number. Okay, there, already I told you, see, conversion of binary to decimal we discussed only for whole number and positive numbers. We have not discussed for negative, as well as we have not discussed for precisions, isn't it? Precisions, those are nothing but fractional parts that we are going to see in our further classes. And we also see some other number systems like your octal number system, your hexadecimal number system also we have to discuss. Okay, as it comes slowly, I am feeding, as it comes in our discussion we'll discuss those as well. Okay, so this is the bitwise operators we have, and it is an important question. Many times they ask this thing, bitwise operators. So inshallah in tomorrow's class, because today we discussed binary to decimal and decimal to binary, right? In tomorrow's class we'll be discussing negative numbers, how we can represent the negative numbers in binary form, that we will see. And because this left side shift operator and left side right shift, bitwise left shift and bitwise right shift, as well as bitwise not, they are closely related to that negative numbers. we'll see. Okay, along with the negative numbers we'll also see these three operators, and quickly we complete this thing, assignment operators, and simple assignment, compound assignment, all those things we'll see in our next class. Okay, hopefully. So yeah, many of you have not submitted the assignment. Even I have given the deadline. See, for those, I can't help it because everything is on record. If you're not submitting the assignment, means ultimately you will not get any score for that one. I have to deduct the marks. Uh, See, even everything when it is going online, simple assignment, if you are unable to submit, means we can't help it. Okay, so that too we are not asking you to come to the college and submit. Simply you have to write on a paper, get the prepare the PDF and submit. Only that much we are saying. And still you people are not doing, means I mean, it is not in my hand. I will convey the same message to your HOD and we'll see what he will say. Yes, thank you very much, students.